everybody, welcome back to my channel. I like all kinds of vacation. I don't typically discriminate. If I had to pick a favorite, I would probably say it's going on a cruise. You know, my husband and I frequently have a conversation, should we go on another cruise or should we go do something else? And we kind of always end up at the same conclusion, like, why would we do something else if we have so much fun on the cruise? So I thought it would be fun in this video today to go through some pros and cons and a little comparison of two of my favorite cruise lines. So again, they're two of my favorite. We frequently travel on both. I think they both do some things really, really well. And then they both have some areas where there's maybe some things that could be improved. So the two cruise lines that I'm gonna talk about today are Disney Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean. This might be surprising to some people, but if you're looking for adult-only options and experiences while on a family cruise, I have to go with Disney. Now keep in mind, both Royal Caribbean and Disney are family-oriented cruise lines, so there's going to be kids and there's going to be a lot of kids on both of them. And if you're really looking for an adult-only experience, you're probably better suited to go on a Virgin Voyages cruise or something like that where children are truly not allowed. But within the family cruise line space, in my experience, Disney has done a much better job of keeping the adult-only areas and events truly limited to adults only. On a Disney cruise, when they have an adult game show, an adult trivia, anything like that, they are strict about keeping it to adults only. And unfortunately, I've not had that same experience while on Royal Caribbean ships. For example, last fall, we were on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and every night the adult-only game show was full of children. And they were always looking for audience participation, and of course, the children were the ones who wanted to participate. So things that would have been really embarrassing for the participants who were selected probably against their will, but really funny for everyone in the audience, ended up really just being not very entertaining because the participants were 10-year-olds who aggressively volunteered and were jumping up and down to go up on the stage. If I had to choose between Royal Caribbean and Disney for the main dining, the food that is included in the price that gets you on the ship without paying any additional fees, in my opinion, hands down, this one goes to Disney. Now, I will say that Royal Caribbean has a lot more specialty dining options on their ships. And what that means is an upcharge. Essentially, you can pay an extra fee and then they have a variety of different restaurants that you can choose to eat at instead of going to the main dining room. They have like hibachi, Italian, steakhouses, all different types of restaurants. And these restaurants are very good. All of the ones that I've tried have been very good. And the atmosphere in those restaurants, it's very nice. You have attentive wait staff. It's not overwhelmingly loud, all of that. It's a great experience in those restaurants. I think that the upcharged specialty dining on a Royal Caribbean ship is a lot more comparable to the regular dining on a Disney ship. In my opinion, the main dining on a Disney ship, that main dining room experience is fantastic. We look forward to going to dinner every night, and with the exception of one cruise, and our dining staff was fine on that cruise, but on every other cruise, they've been absolutely amazing. And one of the best things is that they travel with you from restaurant to restaurant each night of the cruise. So especially if you're on a longer trip, they really get to know your preferences. You know, usually when we come in for dinner every night, whatever drinks we typically order are already on the table and ready for us. And it's just such a nice experience to get to know the waitstaff throughout the week. And they just really, really do it right in the main dining room. In contrast to that, in my experience, the Royal Caribbean main dining room is not a pleasant experience at all. The tables are so close together that you can't help but hear the conversation of the table beside you, whether you want to or not. And they typically haven't, in my experience, have not been as accommodating to giving us our own table when we've requested it. And so we've ended up having to share, and it just hasn't been the best experience. So I say hands down for the main dining, it has to go to Disney. The next category is itinerary. And specifically when we're thinking about the diversity of itineraries, this one hands down has to go to Royal Caribbean. Now, part of this, absolutely, actually probably all of this, is just because they have so many more ships than Disney. And as Disney has had a new ship, and then I think they're planning on having another one come, like they are getting a little bit better with a little more diversity, but it's still just nowhere near the diversity that they have at Royal Caribbean, just given the number of ships that they have sailing around at any given time. But one of the things that I think is even more disappointing about the itineraries that Disney offers is it's so hard to find longer itineraries. And they really focus on those shorter ones. So you're talking 3, 4, 5 day itineraries. And I know why they do it. They get a higher dollar value, per person per day on a shorter cruise. But I don't want to go on a shorter cruise. Now, one of my absolute favorite parts of a cruise is the entertainment. This one's hard to decide, so I'm going to say both, but on the Royal Caribbean side, I'm gonna put an asterisk. And that is because I've had widely different experiences on Royal Caribbean ships as far as the entertainment goes. So on Disney, the entertainment, top notch, 10 out of 10 every single time. The quality, I personally enjoy their IP, so the topics, all of that. It's awesome, it's great. Personally, I don't think it's childish at all. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up with those characters. It's nostalgic. I don't know how you can't be happy when you hear those songs and you see those characters, and it's the stories that we're all familiar with. So personally, I think it's for all ages, and I really, really enjoy the entertainment on Disney. That's what they're known for. I don't think that surprises anyone. On Royal Caribbean, on their Oasis class, their bigger, their newer ships, the entertainment, in my opinion, stacks right up to Disney. Some people, depending, they may even like it more. And I think where Royal has the advantage is they have more variety. So on those Oasis class ships, you get a Broadway show, but then you also get like an aqua theater show, an ice skating show. So it's not only just theater shows with singing and dancing, they're doing acrobatics outside in the water and all sorts of crazy stuff. And it really is fantastic. Just the variety, the quality, the quantity, all of the entertainment on those ships is top notch. And I think even comparison between the two. However, I've been on other Royal Caribbean ships, the older ships, where that's not been the case. And for some reason, the last Royal Caribbean cruise I went on, the entertainment was skewed to such an older crowd. It was very surprising to me. The highlight acts, one night it was a doo-wop group. They had 50s and 60s and 70s themed music nights. It was just skewed to such an older crowd that I really didn't enjoy it very much, because there was nothing targeted even to like middle-aged people. It was all just skewed so much an older crowd. So I think the entertainment on some of those older ships is definitely not the same quality that you're going to find on Disney or even the bigger Royal Caribbean ships. So if you like to enjoy the nightlife while you're on a cruise, the better option for you, in my opinion, is going to be Royal Caribbean. And I say that because, one, none of the Disney ships have a casino, so if you like to gamble, then that's your obvious choice. But also, things just tend to shut down a little earlier. I would say really nothing's happening past midnight. There might be some movies that start late and are still rolling through the midnight hour, but there's not events or anything like that happening late into the evening on a Disney cruise. So I said a lot. Hopefully that was helpful and gave you some ideas and maybe some things you hadn't thought about while thinking through planning your next vacation. So the final question, which one's my favorite? So if I have to look at my most recent cruise history, it would have to be Disney, since we've been on that one more. I like them both. As I said, it's not that I wouldn't go on Royal Caribbean. Honestly, we have the absolute best time on Disney cruises, and I think it would be very hard for anything to top that for me. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with anything I've said. Have you been on both? Which one do you prefer? And if you like this kind of content, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. See you next time. Bye.